Welcome back to our year-long, almost said week-long fantasy/football competition where one of us is going to suffer a punishment, whoever the loser is. And we don't know the punishment yet. If you have any ideas, leave a comment on this video. Maybe we'll figure something out over the next couple of weeks. We have 1 week in the books, and it's a close match. I'll share quickly just the scores here. There's a total of 21 possible points. We'll kind of go over those and how you acquire them as we show the graphics. But real quick, Brian, you are in first place with 6 points. You got second place for fantasy. That gives you 3 points. And you got your first lock game pick against the spread, and it got you another 3. I won the fantasy competition. Like always, I always win everything with fantasy. And then, Dad, you got 5 points on just your game pick. So congratulations there. The highest scoring team was the Saints last week, go figure, and the Giants, which kind of makes sense. I'm surprised at least one of us didn't pick the Giants. And then no one was close with the Hail Mary pick, which, again, we'll get into that. Brian, you were the closest, though. Adam Thielen was wide receiver 52. So,
great.
Yeah. Yeah, he almost made it. So the first
Adam Thielen,
just a couple more yards, and he would have been in there.
Oh yeah, but like you pointed out, there were a couple players that did do it, so it is possible. The first leg of this is fantasy related. We have to pick a fantasy lineup here. We have to fill out a quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, and a flex. All half PPR, 6 point per passing touchdown type of standard kind of league. And the twist is once we pick someone, we cannot pick them again. So there's definitely a theme here with our fantasy.
Yeah, you better say there's no collusion. We're not talking to each other and
no, I want you guys to lose.
We're playing against each other, so how can we collude?
Well, the theme is we're taking advantage of guys that we don't know if we're going to be there later in the season.
Right.
So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so our quarterbacks are all the same. I assume you guys had that same thought. It was like, well, you might as well get a Justin Fields start in here because, and also Justin Fields can be top 5, so pretty easily. Brian, you want to say anything on? Was that kind of your logic here with Fields?
Yeah, definitely. Like, just get him in there while you can, and like you said, it's kind of a running theme. You can see it throughout. Like we all picked Mason also because we don't know how long CMC's out. So that kind of takes care of those first 2 basically.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's the logic there.
Marvin's going to have a bounce back game.
Yeah. So, I mean,
I don't know if he can bounce back if he's never done it, like it bounces up.
Anything's better than 1.4 points,
Well, I don't know. 0 is worse.
Or get injured or something,
Yeah. So, well, again, Justin Fields, Jordan Mason are a wash for this. Brian, your other running back, Zach Charbonnet, you're taking advantage of. I'm doing the same as you. Potentially, Kenneth Walker missing. Sounds like he's not going to play. Will kind of suck if he does play. But was that again your logic? Again, was just, well, we don't know if Kenneth Walker could play the rest of the year besides this week, right?
That was definitely it. I was really hoping he was actually ranked as RB 40, and I was like, damn, missed him by 1 spot for the Hail Mary pick. I was like, man, because I just did this right before we jumped on, and so obviously all of that gets adjusted. So he won't be 40 for long if Walker's out.
No, he'll definitely shoot up there. Dad, you went with James. Hang on, Dad. You went with James Cook. We're going to try and avoid Thursday night games, but I don't think the rules weren't clear. Yeah, cheater. No, you did send this in before, obviously, before the Thursday night game. So I let you keep it. You started off pretty high. I don't know exactly your half PPR scoring, but it's pretty high. I will say that it's 25 plus, I think. So good start there. You talked about Marvin Harrison, but that's Marvin Harrison Sr. I didn't put the junior, so that means you get the retired old Indianapolis Colts Hall of Famer.
0 points.
Sorry about that. It's 0 points. Now, you think he's going to bounce back? And what about the Ayuk pick? Talk about your 2 receivers.
Yeah, I just he didn't have a great game, but he didn't look like he was out to lunch or anything. So he probably just needed some time to get his crap together. So um, yeah, Marvin, I just think I think it's better. It's a divisional game. I think he's better than that. Kyler, he said something about it, and so everybody's aware and everything else. So then Brock Bowers, he looked, the only concern I have with that is the quarterback, but he's not that bad. So
Well, the team in general, right? Boo.
well, yeah, they didn't do too well versus the Chargers last week. So you're correct on that one.
Yeah. 28 points for James Cook, by the way. Just quickly did that. So you are pretty far ahead there. Brian, your receivers, you went Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Jaden Reed is an interesting one. Having Malik Willis as his quarterback. What's your reasoning there?
Yeah, I figured okay. It's kind of a twofold approach here. Because I was starting to look at all right, who am I gonna start? And contrary to what I said last week, where it's man, just use the guys when you think they're going to have a good matchup, and who cares if you can't use them later and figure it out. I kind of dialed that back a little bit, and I was just kind of looking at a lot of wide receiver 2s and 3s, and I was man, I'm going to have to start picking from these guys real soon, So that it was kind of I'll save some guys a little bit. As that was the thought process when it comes to Jaden Reed. I think he's going to be a little more involved in the offense. I don't think his target's going to be worth a shit these next few weeks with Malik Willis, but we see him. They throw him in there in the backfield, and there ain't much else there besides Josh Jacobs. So that was kind of the thought process where it's he'll have a few carries. Debo Samuel light.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, that's fair. I think if any receiver is going to be successful, Malik Willis, it's definitely going to be Jaden Reed, because they can use him in multiple ways. I went with Scary Terry. I think he's going to have it's kind of like the Marvin Harrison thing where everyone's talking about how does Terry McLaurin only have 4 targets and 2 catches, and he kills the Giants, and the Giants just suck. So I think he's going to have a huge, huge game, and I want to take advantage of that for sure.
I think the Giants, are on the hot seat this weekend, so
they've been on the hot seat.
Well, they have, but guys like Daniel Jones, guy's been laying eggs for 5 or 6 years now, so it's come on, dude.
Yeah,
he had one good season.
That one he threw 15 touchdowns. Scary Terry. I keep calling him that. Terry McLaurin, that's his nickname, but he has 9 games against the Giants. He has 61 catches, almost 800 yards, and 3 touchdowns. So a little bit more than half a season's worth of production, more games, and really good numbers. So I think he's going to light him up. And then Cooper Kupp, I want to hopefully get 20 targets again. And I don't know how long that's going to last, because I'm worried about him lasting. He's in motion all the time. Dude's insane cardio, and but he's older, and hopefully.
I wonder what his legs feel like after running that many pass routes and stuff.
And all the motion back and forth.
I know.
90% in motion or something.
Running 4 or 5 miles or something during a game.
Yeah. It's kind of weird to think about that. My legs probably feel better than Cooper Kupp's, because there's no way that's true on a regular day, but after a game for sure.
Yeah, seriously. And then Kelsey, just get the stud tight end. Hopefully it's a shootout with the Bengals. And then Olave.
He ain't a stud anymore.
Maybe not, but Olave, I'm taking the approach of the McLaurin, Marvin Harrison, squeaky wheel type of thing. So I am a little bit concerned about that one, but Dad, you got Ramondre Stevenson in your flex. Do you think he's going to get another 30 touches like he did last week?
Yeah, I don't know, man. They don't have very much else to feed the ball to. So That's their philosophy, is going to run the ball, don't turn it over and play good defense and stuff like that. So as long as he's healthy, he should be getting a lot of carries.
Yep. Yeah. And Brian, Bucky Irving is just, again, your strategy of like saving some of the top guys, or
Yeah, there's a little bit more to it than that, but hold on, I want to go back to one thing real quick. Dad, you said Kelsey's not a stud anymore.
Yeah.
What's going on there? Like, is Sam Laporta a stud?
Of course he is.
Oh,
Yeah, he's
what? That's Homer shit
like,
right there.
He's like 12 years younger, and Kelsey's legs are getting weak because of Taylor.
No, they were saving him.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, he got more yards in less games than Laporta last
good
year.
For him.
And more catches. Anyways, yeah, no, Bucky Irving, definitely I threw him in there just to kind of spell my guys a little bit. Like, I think Detroit, like, they're a tough team to run on in general, and so, but you can kind of run through the air on them. So I'm just kind of throwing them in there, like, see what happens. Like, I was kind of this week's team is definitely like a little weird. It might be too much of a pullback from last week, where, like I said, like, I was kind of looking at some of the guys I'm going to have to start later on. And I was like, all right, let me use guys while I can. I threw St. Brown in there, like, as kind of like as one of the hammers, like you like to say, Mike. I think he has a big bounce back game in that same game. I think it has the highest over under Vegas is saying for the week. So yeah, all that stuff kind of factored in.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. We got a few wash picks, that's for sure. But first place, whoever has the most points gets 5 points, which will probably be me again. Second place gets 3 points, and then third place you get a goose egg, which will probably be you, Dad. But the next one is our game picks. We're picking 3 games against the spread. Keep in mind, we have our first lock, second lock, and third lock. If we hit on our first lock, we get 3 points. Our second lock is worth 2 points, and our third lock is worth 1 point. I went over last week, which kind of sucked, but it is what it is. And both you guys hit on them, as we already went over. First game, I went the Ravens. I think they're just going to destroy the Raiders. I think they want to bounce back. They want to just absolutely annihilate the Raiders. So I'll take them, even covering the 8 points. So I feel pretty good about that.
I had that same thought when I was picking. Like, they were one of the ones that where I was like, they can cover and they have to prove it a little bit. Like, well, not that they looked bad last week, but it's like they need the win, and so they're going to just drill those guys.
Yeah. What's Chargers? Huh? -4.5. I think I'll never just take the Chargers until I see some consistency. But
versus Carolina, though, right?
Yeah,
it's still.
I mean, yeah, no, I think that's a good one. I considered that. So.
Go ahead,
yeah,
Brian.
I mean, it's as simple as saying it's against Carolina. Like.
Yeah. Very true. It is. It just, I guess, my history with the Chargers is like playing down to their competition. Could be different Chargers with Harbaugh, or it could just be something in the like some kind of Native American curse or something where they could just never be good, or something in the water, and it followed them to Los Angeles. So from San Diego.
I think it's kind of interesting that we all picked different games, like not one double up here this week. So we got 9 games to pay attention to here.
Yeah. Well, Dad cheated again and went with the Bills. So
I'm just efficient.
No, he's entitled.
Entitled. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. So he already got 28-point head start on fantasy, and he already got 3 points on the Bills. So looking good there, Dad. You think the Cardinals are going to win against the Rams? Is that or
Yeah, it's a division game. The Rams have lost 3/5 of their offensive lines already.
Yeah.
And I know the Cardinals aren't a defensive juggernaut that I know of, pass rush or anything else, but it's like, the Cardinals actually played kind of well versus the Bears. No, they didn't play the Bears.
Bills.
Bills. They actually played pretty good against the Bills, and then kind of in the second half they kind of did some stupid things. So I think it's a divisional game. You kind of don't know. They all play each other hard. So the Cardinals don't want to start off 0-2.
Yeah.
So, of course, the Rams don't want to either. So
I actually had the Ram side of that at -1 as one of my picks. But then I swapped it for my third pick so I could troll you a little bit. But I thought a lot about that game, definitely. And I kept hemming and hawing about starting Colby Parkinson as my tight end, because, like I said last week, it's like, oh, George Kittle for the Niners again. Like, I got to save him for the Cardinals, because they're bad against tight ends. So I definitely strongly considered that aspect too, especially with Puka out.
Yeah, for sure. I went the Eagles -6 against the Falcons. I just think there's a chance like Kirk Cousins is not healthy, and if they're going to run their offense completely out of shotgun, like we were talking about pre-show, like I think that's just kind of a disaster waiting to happen. And then I also think the Eagles are just one of the best teams in the NFL, potentially the best, up there with the top two. Them and the Lions are the kind of the class of the NFC, and the 49ers, of course, those three teams. So, I like chaos, and I like the idea of the Falcons starting off 0-2, looking kind of shitty, and then the Michael Penix fans come out, and there's just that's going to be fun just to watch it burn. So I kind of had that in my mind too. But Browns +3 against the Jacksonville Jaguar. Do you think they win that game or?
Yeah, I actually do. I think their defense will be able to contain Jacksonville in general. Like, obviously, we'll need a little offense, which we didn't see much of this last week with Cleveland. But I just kind of like taking the points there, and I think it's going to be a close game. So yeah, why not take some free points?
Yeah, for sure. And then the Brian, you can go ahead and talk about the Bucks. You said you wanted to troll our father, Bucks Lions playing your team against his team.
Yeah, that definitely factored into it. Obviously, I'm not super confident about it, just because, I slotted it in there in my last setup. But, we just saw these guys play each other back in the playoffs last year. And I remember Dad saying that he was scared of the Bucks, and I told him he should be,
yeah, okay.
And obviously that didn't really work out. Hey, I remember you saying this, like you were worried.
Well, I was, like, what the hell, I want him, it's like, you never know.
Yeah, I think what you said was you were less scared. Well, like, it's not that you were scared, but you're like, I think the Bucks had a better chance to beat the Lions than the Rams did in week 1 of the playoffs last year. So I'm kind of, it's definitely not kind of, it's a bit of a homer pick. It's a bit of a troll dad. And
you got 6.5 points. That's outstanding though. So
yeah. And I am willing to make a bet on air right now if you give me 6.5 points.
I'm not giving you anything, man. We go straight up or nothing.
Oh, what?
What kind of confidence you got in your team? If you give me a touchdown and a half an extra point. And, oh, man.
Well, a half a touchdown is 3 points, so Dad can't.
I'll give you 2.5 points.
I'll take my money to Vegas then. I was just gonna say my wife making you dinner versus you making me dinner.
Yeah.
Or your wife, Miss Donna back there.
She's back there.
It's gonna cost you more.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
I'll bring the garlic bread.
I was gonna
Yeah.
see. Actually, Dad, because so when you sent your sheet in, you said it was Colts +3, and I just double checked that right now because I didn't check it when I filled this out. It's actually Colts -3. So I'll give you a chance if you want. You can keep that, but it's Colts. It's Colts -3. It's not +3. So they got
How
Colts
did
got
I
to win
mess
by
that
3.
up?
I don't know, but it makes sense that the Colts are favored over Green Bay against Malik
Reese,
Willis,
you're
or
trying to
you could take
cheat
trying to
trying
cheat
to
again.
in every single aspect of this.
Or you take the Lions -6.5 against the Buccaneers. And
Yeah, I
go
get a little
head-to-head.
pass for age, No, I don't think Green Bay's offense is going to be great. The last time we seen Malik Willis play, I seen high school quarterbacks look better, so that's what I'm banking on.
Yeah.
And then
All right.
Indianapolis, Anthony Richardson. I tell you, that 65-yard bomb he did, that was
crazy.
one of the prettiest friggin' passes that I've seen. So
yeah, that was insane. And then I took the Steelers -3 against the Broncos. I just think TJ Watt versus a rookie quarterback in Bo Nix is just a disaster
man,
waiting to
TJ
happen.
Watt was on fire last week.
Yeah, so I just think I don't care if it's Justin Fields. I think he can have a good game, and I think that defense could just absolutely destroy. So we'll see how that goes out, and then we'll quickly look at who we have for the highest scoring and the lowest scoring teams. Shouldn't take too long here. I didn't even check if we had the same teams or not, but we have. I went with the Ravens. Daddy went with the Chiefs. Brian went with the Rams. So 3 different teams there, and 3 different teams for the lowest scoring teams. We got Titans, Bears, Broncos. Who's your? Which one do you guys think doesn't make sense? Which one do you think completely makes sense? Any thoughts on these?
I think Jeff Wilson as the Hail Mary pick doesn't. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we know now. Rams, Broncos. I don't see the Ravens.
I just think they're going to annihilate the Raiders.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't see the Rams.
The Raiders, yeah. I'm not sticking up for the Raiders, but I don't think they don't want to go out 0-2, and
it doesn't matter.
Their defense was actually pretty good until Dobbins got a long run in the fourth quarter. So
fair enough. I mean,
Derrick Henry can't do that.
I just think the Rams divisional game, 3 offensive linemen down. I think that might be kind of tough for them to be high scoring without Puka.
Yeah,
and all that.
So my thought process there, because I was kind of trying to play it out. I didn't look at all games seriously, but sometimes you don't want the blowouts. Just because if the Raiders can't keep up with the Ravens, then are they going to keep scoring points, kind of a thing, you know?
True.
So I just feel like this game's going to be close. I mean, Vegas calls it that, like Dad's been saying, divisional game. So it's I think we can have some good points on the board between these two guys. They always play each other pretty well, it seems like. So that was kind of the thought process there.
No, that makes sense. Like a shootout kind of situation. Yeah. So, yeah. Hail Mary picks. I mean, I just went. I went a rookie receiver. Oh, by the way, we're changing this to top 15 to make it see if we can hit on that. Even though there were 2 that hit in the top 12, but we'll go top 15. It's still really difficult. I just went rookie receiver, who I thought, he led the team in targets and catches last week. He has that ability to get to take a 70-yard slant to the house, and maybe he gets one of those and torches the Chargers or something. So that's kind of what I went. Dad, we already know you missed there. I don't mind the thought process there though with Jeff Wilson, and then Brian Rico Dowdle. You banking on a Zeke injury or?
I just think maybe they want to get him a little bit more involved this week. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Once you start looking down that far, it's a similar thought process where it's well, let's say, Zeke does start slowing down and doesn't become the guy with a slightly bigger share. It's Dowdle's not going to be there for you to pick necessarily. Not that I think he's like obviously like, oh yeah, like I don't think he really, even if Zeke does get injured, I don't think he has top 5 or top 12 or 15 upside, I guess. Just kind of just shooting a shot there. I'm not overly impressed with the Saints in general, even though they did score 47 points. I don't think they're going to do that with, Micah Parsons in Derek Carr's face this week coming up. So I'm just kind of like, like maybe he'll get a lot of run and we'll actually see that the Saints are terrible.
Yeah. And maybe they blow him out and they they give Rico a lot of work. So you need that. Isn't Rico from like Starship Troopers? Isn't there someone named Rico in there?
Johnny Rico.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we need a
and Dad only remembers
drop.
Dizzy.
Yeah, taking showers with women, Sorry, my wife's right behind me, but it was an interesting.
Rico!
Yeah.
I feel like they shout like Rico or something at some point during that movie. So
yeah,
we need a little sound drop. Yeah. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. By the way, I'm making rules up as we go. The tiebreaker is total fantasy points. So technically, Dad, you are in last place because I have the most fantasy points than you. So,
what the hell?
So hopefully you get it going. We'll see how it goes. Let us know if there's any punishments you want to see us do or wear or whatever, and we will be back this time.
Including if Dad loses, then the punishment is $1,000 each.
Yeah,
but
sure.
if we lose, it's something much less than that.
I'll be paying right up really quick.
Either that or you give us one of your vehicles. It's up to you.
Yeah.
I just sold them.
Well, the cash is fine. Cash value is always fine too. But we will be back this time next week, and we will be updating you on how everything goes. Have a good football weekend. Hopefully it's better than last weekend in terms of scoring, and we'll see you all in the next video.